Hello friends, it is good to see you once again. I am still here in Cuchulainn, being very well looked after. And like you, I still miss Owen Maha, Navan Fort, and I hope to return very soon. But thinking about my time away from Owen reminds me of a story of Cuchulainn and the time that he had to leave Owen. Why, you may ask? Well, Cuchulainn fell in love with a great beauty called Emer. Absolutely enthralled and deeply in love with her as she was with him. But there was a problem. Emer's father was called Fergal. Fergal didn't like Cuchulainn. He was worried that Cuchulainn would be a bad husband to Emer, that he would go off to battle and die. And so he decided that he had to get rid of Cuchulainn, so that Emer would forget about him and hopefully love someone else. So how did he manage to do this? Well, one night King Conor was having a feast, and Fergal the Wily transformed himself into a trader from the lands of Gaul, or France. And he entered with great splendour into King Conor's feasting hall. King Conor looked at this merchant with bags filled with gold, and he said to him, "I am King Conor, the greatest king in all these lands, and I expect some of your merchandise." Well, the trader looked him up and down and said, "No offence to you, but you can't really be the greatest king in all these lands. Your 3 champion warriors may be good, but they've never been trained by Scatha of the Isle of Skye." Well, no sooner had these words left his mouth, Cuchulainn had heard what he had said, leapt to his feet, brought the 2 fellow champions with him, and they escaped Owen, made their way across the seas to Alba. And no sooner had they set foot in Alba, or Scotland as you would know it, but Fergal the Wily appeared in a vision to Cuchulainn's 2 friends. He painted a picture of Owen so resplendent in golden sunlight that their hearts instantly broke and they were homesick. And they left Cuchulainn alone in the lands of Alba, a place he knew nothing of. Poor Cuchulainn had to find all his strength to walk north towards the Isle of Skye. And no sooner had he stepped forward, but a strange mythical creature appeared in front of him, half monster, half lion. And every time Cuchulainn tried to move, this creature would block his way. Frustrated, Cuchulainn couldn't understand what the creature wanted. And then he realised this creature was going to take him to the Isle of Skye. Well, Cuchulainn leapt on its back and they started to ride north towards the Isle of Skye. About halfway through his journey, he came across a group of young warriors who stood laughing at Cuchulainn at how ridiculous this great warrior looked, riding this strange creature. So insulted by this, Cuchulainn leapt off the creature, took out his sword and chopped their heads off. Did the creature wait on him? No, it vanished. Again, Cuchulainn was alone in the lands of Alba. What was he to do? Well, luckily for him, he spotted a settlement and he went to it, and in that dwelling was a familiar face. A princess, the daughter of a local king who had once lived in Owen. She took him in, she gave him food and drink and somewhere to sleep. And as he was settling down for the night, she said, "Cuchulainn, I've had a vision. You're trying to reach the Isle of Skye, but you have a treacherous journey from here to there, for Fergal the Wily is going to place lots of danger in your path. You must find another way to the Isle of Skye." And thanks to this advice, Cuchulainn was able to have a safe journey. And he finally reached the coast, and there in front of him was the Isle of Skye. And luckily for Cuchulainn, he was no longer alone, for standing on the shoreline were familiar faces, the sons of Uisnech, and better still, his best friend, his blood brother, Ferdia. There was great cheers of joy, screams of celebrations, and much hugging and clapping. And then Ferdia broke the sad news to Cuchulainn. He said, "Cuchulainn, that island may seem close, but to reach it you must cross that bridge. Narrow at both ends, high at the top. It may look wide to you, but as soon as you put your foot on it, It is enchanted. It could narrow to the size of a piece of string. It could throw you off like an angry horse. Many men have died trying to reach it. Cuchulainn, undeterred by this, said, I will reach it. He started across the island, but no good. The bridge narrowed and threw him off. He put his foot on it again and it turned to ice and he got thrown off. Finally, undeterred, he used the great famous salmon leap. He took the salmon leap with an almighty run. One foot lightly touched the bridge and the other foot finally reached the Isle of Skye, and he arrived. And watching them the whole time was Scatha's daughter. So enchanted by Cuchulainn, she went up to him, looking at him with his lightning coming out of his hair and the 7 lights of a warrior in his eyes, and said, Cuchulainn, you will find my mother on the plains, training my brothers. So Cuchulainn left her, went to the plains and could see Scatha training her sons, ran up to her, grabbed her by the hair, put his sword to her throat and said, Woman, you will train me and my best friend, Ferdia. Looking at the weapon, she realised that this was Cuchulainn of Iron, and she said, Let me go, Cuchulainn. I will grant your 2 wishes. Cuchulainn let her go, put down his sword, and she said, Cuchulainn, I will train you, but I will tell you one thing. You will leave here the greatest warrior the world has ever known, but you will also die as a young man. Do you wish to be trained by me? Cuchulainn looked at her and said, If that is what the gods have decided for me, so be it. And so Cuchulainn started his long apprenticeship training with Scatha. Dear friends, maybe join me another night and I could tell you what took place at Scatha's Island when Cuchulainn was learning all the great skills to be a warrior. So until that time, keep safe, keep well, and see you soon. Farewell.